In Washington, D.C., the story begins when a curious journalist uncovers a dusty folder buried deep inside the National Archives, marked only with the chilling words "classified." At first, it looks like nothing more than forgotten Cold War paperwork, but a closer look reveals encrypted messages, hidden codes, and a list of American operatives who mysteriously vanished decades ago. The deeper she digs, the more questions arise. Why were these files buried? Who was trying to erase them from history? The folder suggests there was an entire operation so secret that even the CIA denied it existed. The journalist feels both excitement and dread as she realizes she has stumbled upon something that was never meant to be found. This one discovery sets into motion a dangerous chain of events that will pit her against powerful forces determined to ensure the truth remains hidden forever. The mysterious file reveals the name of a spy who shouldn't exist. He is referred to only as Agent X, a ghost operative whose presence is felt in whispers, but whose official record is completely erased. The journalist finds herself drawn deeper into the mystery, uncovering old photographs, coded correspondences, and testimony from people who claim to have met him. Some describe him as a hero who prevented a nuclear disaster during the Cold War, while others say he was a double agent who sold America's secrets to its enemies. The contradictions make it impossible to know who to trust. Even more unsettling, every lead seems to vanish, as if an invisible hand is erasing his trail. The more she investigates, the more she realizes she may be following the footsteps of someone who has been living in the shadows, unseen, for decades, and possibly still alive today. Seeking answers, the journalist turns to a retired CIA analyst who once had access to the country's most classified operations. At first reluctant, the old man eventually agrees to examine the documents and is visibly shaken by what he sees. He warns her that this file was never meant to see daylight, and by handling it, she has already put herself in grave danger. According to him, powerful figures inside the U.S. government spent years burying this secret, and they won't hesitate to silence anyone who comes too close. He reveals that the file was tied to an unsanctioned Cold War operation that could topple reputations and careers if exposed. More chillingly, he suggests that someone inside the agency might still be watching her every move. As she leaves his home, she notices a black SUV parked across the street, its engine running, with tinted windows that reflect only her own fearful face. The investigation takes a darker turn when the journalist uncovers evidence suggesting that a respected American politician may have secretly collaborated with Soviet intelligence. This revelation shakes her to the core, as the politician is still active in Washington and holds significant power. Old surveillance tapes, intercepted communications, and fragments of testimony point to betrayals buried under decades of lies. The possibility that America's trust was broken by one of its own leaders leaves her reeling. But the truth comes at a price. Friends distance themselves, her phone is tapped, and strange figures follow her in the night. Every step forward feels like walking into a trap. The realization that the betrayal may not be just history, but an ongoing conspiracy, makes her realize she has stumbled into a game where allies are indistinguishable from enemies, and where one wrong move could cost her everything. Now marked as a threat, the journalist becomes the hunted. Her investigation draws attention from powerful forces, and soon she notices the same dark SUVs following her through the streets of New York. Late at night, she is chased through crowded alleys, barely escaping figures in black coats. She begins receiving anonymous, encrypted messages on her phone, warning her to stop digging or face consequences. Each clue only deepens the danger, but she refuses to turn back. The thrill of truth drives her forward even as her world unravels. She seeks refuge in safe houses, meets secret contacts under bridges, and hides from surveillance that seems to track her everywhere. New York becomes a battlefield of shadows where trust is impossible and betrayal feels inevitable. The hunt is no longer just about discovering the past. It has become a desperate fight to survive the present. Desperation leads her to focus on the encrypted codes hidden inside the ghost file. With the help of a trusted hacker, she cracks part of the cipher and discovers shocking details about a covert Cold War mission. It reveals that dozens of U.S. operatives were deliberately sacrificed to protect a mole buried deep inside America's own leadership. The file hints that the mole provided information that shaped world events, all while pretending to serve U.S. interests. This truth is devastating. Not only were loyal agents betrayed, but their deaths were erased from history to protect someone still untouchable. The journalist realizes this secret has the power to shatter faith in the very foundations of government. Yet with every line she deciphers, her danger multiplies. She begins to wonder whether exposing the truth is worth the cost of her own life, or if silence would be safer. Against all odds, the trail leads her to an impossible revelation. Agent X is still alive. Long thought to be a Cold War casualty, he resurfaces in the shadows, watching her every move. When they finally meet, his presence is both terrifying and magnetic. He admits that much of what she found is true, but insists the file tells only half the story. According to him, he wasn't just protecting America. He was protecting the world from an even greater threat. But can she trust him? Every word he speaks feels laced with deception, and yet his knowledge of events long hidden proves his authenticity. His reappearance changes everything, forcing her to question whether he is here to finally reveal the truth or to silence it forever. The line between hero and traitor blurs, leaving her in dangerous uncertainty. The final confrontation brings the ultimate truth to light. The Ghost File is revealed to contain undeniable evidence of a decades-long conspiracy that reaches the highest levels of government, including the White House. Names, dates, and operations all point to a betrayal that shaped America's history. The journalist's life has become a whirlwind of danger, but she realizes exposing the truth is the only way forward. As she prepares to release her findings, enemies close in for one last attempt to silence her. In a tense finale, the truth is broadcast to the world, shaking America to its core. The Ghost File becomes the most explosive revelation of the century, rewriting history and leaving the nation questioning who it can truly trust. The story closes not with certainty, but with the haunting realization that some secrets never die. They only wait to be uncovered.